Oh, good morning. Welcome to our first Friday faith sharing. And I continue to wonder why I came up with that name, which is a lot of F's and it's very difficult to pronounce. But welcome to this month faith sharing. And we have a couple from St. Richard's. We have Allan and Naomi with us. So welcome. Thank you for coming and being here with us today. So we have been doing this for the last few 5 months, and so we're getting to know people from the different parishes for the Catholic community in Central Racine. So Allan and Naomi are from St. Richard's and are very involved in the parish and in the different ministries, and we want you to get to know a bit more about them. So, hello, welcome. Just tell us something about yourselves, the two of you. I mean, whomever wants to start, go ahead.
I'm Allan. This is my wife, Naomi. We've been married for 17 years. We have one daughter.
She's 14 years old.
14 years old.
Actually, no, now she's 15. He works at Eaton Corporation. He's works on a panel line, but he welds too. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I do a lot of volunteer work with the church in Aloy and Dulce.
Yes. So yeah, if you want to see, well, how do I put this in? That doesn't sound bad, but anything that Eloy or ads or anything in the church is going on, you will see Allan running up and down. Even within in the context of the Hispanic community, it's something in Spanish. Allan is there, so yeah, and you too, Naomi. Now Naomi is much better in live streaming than Eloy now. So so we are very grateful for the job that you do. I mean, it was good to have you there, and of course, Eloy, you guys could take your vacations. And I was once telling Eloy that it was very important. I mean, I could always find a priest, but it was hard to find somebody to live stream the masses. So now we have Naomi. Eloy, I don't need you anymore. Anyway, so just precisely since you talk about your involvement in the parish, what things you do? I mean,
We are very involved with acts. Like we said, if you see Aloy anywhere, you will see us running around. It's almost like we're his right-hand people, or whatever you want to say. And it was real funny because it was just happened that my daughter wanted to go to the youth group on Fridays. And I'm like, okay, fine, I'll take you. So we took her. She did her thing and came back and picked her up, and I was sitting there talking to Mr. Aloy. And I don't know if I made a mistake about it, but I said, if you need any help with anything,
you made a mistake.
you can just give us a call. We'll try to help and do everything we can.
And then he comes home and he's like, he says, Naomi, he says, should that group Shaylin's involved with an axe? And I said, yeah. And he said, he's always looking for parent volunteers. And I was like, well, I said, we can do a couple things. I said, but we're not getting real involved. I said, because we don't have time for it. I said, or I don't want to deal with all that. Well, it wasn't long before we were full-time.
Full-time. Well, I know Eloy always has mentioned, and I know that you also mentioned to me the other day, that even when we have the mission trips or something like that, you will take your vacations around those days so that you could help and volunteer. That's awesome. I mean, we thank you for all the work that you guys do. The last thing that you were involved with was the online live streaming. You were like a week training and then a week on your own. I know we did, but then you were also like for the fish fry, no?
Yes.
I saw you there helping. And I think you already set up for our summer work camp that we're gonna do. Did you already ask for your vacation time?
Yes, I got my vacation all approved.
So we have one, Eloy. Okay, that's good.
One.
And that's great. So, how do you how did you end up in this parish and coming being involved and members of the parish and being part of the church? I know we already recruit you for the pastoral council and you're in there. So, how was your faith journey towards St. Richard's?
It started out kind of rocky. We signed Shaylin up for St. Edward's for school. And so we had become members of that parish. Well, then when she started Acts, then Aloy started asking a lot of questions about, where do you go to church? Do you go to church on Sunday? Do you know it's obligatory to be in church on Sunday? And we kind of were like, yeah. And then eventually we would go once in a while, or we started going, and we asked him where he went, and he said St. Richard's. Well, by then we had become kind of close, so we were like, well, we'll try St. Richard's. Well, we liked it so much, and we were close to Aloy and his family, and we became close to other families through acts and different functions at the church, and that's how we came back to church, and it's helped our family a lot.
For me, it was that it felt like a family. We'd walk into church and there'd be an usher there, and they would greet you, say how you doing, and they would end up coming in and saying your name, how the Strassers are here, and it just felt like a family. So that's why we decided to basically come to St. Richard's.
Oh, awesome. So, Aloy, I think you have the way to get people into church. So, because as they just mentioned, they were kind of, looking into coming or not coming, but I know you are now very involved in not only coming into the church, but also volunteering. That's awesome. So, you already mentioned one of the things that you love about the parish is a parish that feels like a family. That's what we say in St. Richard's, it's the parish that feels like a family. And that's the whole idea. Of course, now we have the challenge, but now you are parents of some, you are parents of people who belong to a youth ministry, and we probably will have more parents or more children involved, and we need you to recruit those parents, because your testimony is right. I mean, like what you say, you just wanted to take Shaylin to a youth group, and that's it. And it's probably the example of the way many parents are. Okay, as you said it, let her do her thing, and then we will pick her up.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's right. I mean, it's nothing against any parent. It's just the way we kind of think about church involvement, and I'm really glad that you kind of also become involved, and it's now a family enterprise. It's a family business in that regard, that all of you are involved, and I think that's a good testimony as people of faith and as a family to others' families. So we need to have that in mind to have you talk to other people and share the experience.
Having a daughter like Shaylin, from even before we met Aloy, would always ask us, why don't we go to church? I would like to go to church on Sunday. And she would never let it go.
Uh-huh.
We wouldn't, talk about it, or we'd go, and then we wouldn't talk about it for a while, and she'd keep saying, why don't we go to Sunday Mass? We should go to Sunday Mass. I'd like to serve. I'd like to be more involved. And Allan and I drug our feet, and we're like, yeah, okay, whatever. And then when she kept saying that, I wanted to be in Acts. I want to go into Acts. And I'm like, well, I don't know anything about it. And then it's, then I've got to make time to take her. But then when we finally did, then it was a blessing. It was just like everything kind of opened up, and everything was smooth from there. It was easy to get into things. And then when we went to St. Richard's, it was so easy to be part of that community.
Oh, that's great. So I'm really moved and touched by your testimony, because yeah, it's right. They're like children can bring it. So like we need to do harder work with the youth, because that's the way we get the parents. And so anything else that you would like to share with us? Anything that you probably have in your hearts and minds now burning, and you want to talk to us and to the people, of course, to the rest of the community? You mentioned that that you now belong to St. Richard's, but of course, with the youth group, we are involved in the 3 parishes, and I see you volunteering in St. Edward's, St. Patrick's, and here, and that's kind of what my dream will be, that these 3 parishes in the Catholic community in Central Racine, we will all feel part of the same big family. Of course, when you come to church on Sundays, it's here, but you are participating and you are part of a larger family that is this Catholic community in Central Racine. And thank you for being that kind of example and that kind of model for the families in here. So anything else?
I guess I'd be kind of biased, but I think it's another reason why we came to St. Richard's would be the priest. We really enjoy Father Juan and Father Anthony, and the new
Father
one,
Ron,
Father
Father
Ron,
Allan.
Father Allan, all of
Jose
them.
Mario.
So it's more. It's like I said before. It's a family.
I don't think Alan and I have ever met priests quite like the 3 churches have. The priests that I mean, when we were growing up, our priests were always kind of standoffish, or they weren't involved in lives, or they didn't talk to you like they knew you, or they knew your name. It's just amazing that we can go up to any priest in our cluster parishes, and they'll, oh, hi Naomi, hi Allan. I mean, it's just amazing. You feel like you're an important part of everything.
Yeah. Thank you. That's wonderful. So, Allan, so you're gonna have a lot of work in the pastoral council. We are going to start meeting soon. So, the big challenge that we have in any Catholic church is, after the pandemic, how do we get more people involved? How we get back to whatever that normal is? And so you are going to be in the pastoral council, so that's probably one of the things that we will be dealing with and thinking about. So you have a heads up to start thinking about how can we reach out and bring more people back to church. Anyway, so what would you, well, you already mentioned it, but any closing remarks that you want to say, or any expectations, hopes, dreams that you will have for the parish, or that you envision? What would you think that we should probably do different, or what would be best if we will be able to do in the parishes?
I'd like to get younger people in, or people our age, or people that are like with kids or younger parishioners. Yes. Like my niece's age, maybe in their 20s, 30s, because somebody's got to step in that gap from where our children, a lot of the children that we work with now, we try to reiterate how important it is that they are a part of our church, and that they are not just up and coming parts of our church, they're a part of our church now. Mm-hmm. And they need to go from, we need somebody to fill that gap so that we're not having, all either elderly or all just kids. It's got to be a family unit. It's got to be a family that runs our churches. Yeah,
that's really what we need. And we do have a lot of, like with the arts and the youth ministry that we have a lot of children. So what we need to get is the parents involved in the parish, and that maybe it's you probably need to be more our speakers in that regard, because you have experience of, like you say, we were just dragging into the church because our child, but now we see that has been a blessing to our family, and that's really a neat thing to share with other people. Because people sometimes, like churches, if you don't experience it, and if you don't experience the family type of dynamics, you don't realize what you are missing. And I think it's, yeah.
And I think it's important in the role that Naomi mentions is that the young people understanding that they are the present church, and the role that they play is very important, because your daughter Shaylin is proving that point, because it was her that brought you into the ministry, into where you're sitting today.
Exactly. Our children have so much power in where our life goes, or where our life is being led to. And I don't think people realize how much power a child has in your life. most parents or most families will do anything for their children or get them anything that they need or provide for your children. Well, it's the same thing with spirituality. They need that in their life and they seek it, and it's up to us to provide it for them.
Awesome. Great, Naomi. So I think I'm gonna fire Eloy, and then you're gonna be my. Oh, is this recorded? Okay, so it's stay there. Anyway, so Naomi and Allan, thank you for sharing. Thank you. I mean, like, I think that you are the one that we need to thank for having these wonderful parents here. Eloy, I don't know. Oh, say hi, Jenna.
Where is she?
What? Oh, great.
Yeah,
So
there she is.
there she is. So thank you very much for coming and sharing with us your faith, your involvement in the parish, and of course we are going to continue to count on you for different things. And you will be asked a lot to live stream stuff because as Eloy gets more busy with all the things that I want him to do, I would need you to help us, and that would be great. So thank you for being here and for sharing with us. And remember, we are in the Catholic community in Central Racine, one family, one faith. So see you next time.